Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm doing alright. I'm in Heora and I'm planning on doing some more missioning now after a day's worth or half a day's work of university and the rest of the day studying. Today I was having this, before I started making this video, I just requested mission and I actually happened to get another one of these Dread Pirate Scarlets. In the system of EBA says that somehow is saying it's low sec like this, 0.5, but it's actually not low sec. So I don't know why, but it's just the way it is. Today, actually, I have had a pretty interesting day. So for you guys who maybe don't know, I'm studying medicine, becoming a doctor. And today I had to actually, we did a bit of like a scenario where we pretended to be as if it's a real scenario. So someone is acting as a patient and that kind of stuff. And today I was pretending to be or acting as a stroke doctor, someone who's got like a stroke, like a blood clot in your brain. And it was a pretty daunting experience because we students have not done a whole lot of actual things in the hospital. We've mainly been reading books. We have done a bit of like training in the hospital, but today I was a pretend stroke doctor, and it was a pretty like intimidating thing because there are just so many things you have to keep an eye on as a doctor. You have to make sure that the patient is doing all right in every possible like different kind of parameter, that they're breathing, that their heart is okay. But then there's also a lot of fine print actually that doctors have to keep an eye on. It's like you've got to know the drug, but you also got to know how much of the drug. Then you also got to know, well, in this case, do you have to give this drug or do you have to give this other drug? And then you have to also, you got to face tough decisions, like if this guy happens to, his heart stops beating, shall we resuscitate him or shall we not? And those are decisions that need to be made almost straight away, and they can be quite difficult. So since I was very new to this, or this is a very new thing for us, I embarrassed myself quite a bit. There was a lot of mistakes that were made, but I said that a patient, the person who was acting as a patient, need to get be examined every hour, get blood tests every hour, and I was just that is when I'm thinking about it now in retrospect, that is a not so nice thing. I mean, you wouldn't want to get a blood test every hour, and you wouldn't want to get examined every hour. It's quite a annoying thing as someone who's in the hospital. But sometimes it can be necessary, but in this case it wasn't. So I made a bit of a fool of myself, but that's the whole point. We students, we have to sort of make a fool of ourselves to actually learn this for the future. So that's a little bit about my day. Hope you guys have had a good day. The Golem, as per usual, just going straight in to the L4 mission of the Dread Pirate Scarlet. Really does not care at all. You've maybe seen me doing the Dread Pirate Scarlet mission before. It's one of the easiest missions you can actually do. Just one target you have to take out, and it's actually possible to just one-shot actually the Dread Pirate Scarlet boss here. You just got to close in, and you just got to. I think the first wave it's not possible to one-shot, but the second one it is. L4 missions in general, they are very, very relaxing. But something that I've come to notice actually is that in this Marauder, or Marauders in general, it's not the absolute most relaxing thing, because there's always that risk of a gank. Ganks is something important that needs to be taken into consideration when you are using your Marauders, because people like to get that 2 billion ISK plus kill mail. The Marauders are expensive ships, whether you don't have expensive modules, and it's always something that people love to brag about to other people, knowing that they managed to down a multi-billion ISK ship. Well, let's go to the next room. Anir Scarlet running away like a little baby. Let's see if you run away from the Golem now, Anir Scarlet. Okay, let's just close in hot, and we can then just do the double torpedoes. And I do not want to use my target painter, because if the target painter is used, I know Scarlet's going to run away. And I'm going closer to be able to, you know, scoop the loot, because if you kill Anya Scarlet like this, she drops a special implant. And the implant is worth not a whole lot, just worth a couple of million, but it's still better than nothing. You actually don't get it if you go to the next room. If you go to the next room, Anya's going to be there, or you don't manage to one-shot her like I did now, then it's going to be... Oh, we can just complete the mission like that. Then you don't get this little implant here. So you actually, not only are you doing the mission a bit slower, but you also are doing the mission a little bit less in a little bit less profitable way as well when it comes to the actual loot you get. So all in all, it's just better to have a ship that can one-shot Anya if you are going to the Dread Pirate Scarlet mission. I've done this so many times, but it's one of the best missions you can get. Anya Scarlet has a big bounty, and also has, you know, this loot as you saw here, and you get a very hefty amount of LP and ISK from the mission right here. And the Golem likes that a lot. He looks like he wants to eat it up. He's a bit of a fat Golem. Look at that. He's very, very bulky Golem. He looks like he's eating a lot. Nice, tasty LP for the Golem to eat. If I was doing Caldari missions, I could actually use that LP to get Caldari-based ships, like a Caldari Navy Raven and etc. Those Navy kind of blueprints. They're actually worth quite a lot. When it comes to Navy ships, yeah, I wish they would buff them a bit, because they cost the same amount, or sometimes, in some cases, even more than pirate ships, like the Rattlesnake, for example. But often they don't perform as good as the pirate ships, and that's a bit unfortunate. There are two ways, actually, some people on the eveonline Reddit have suggested. One is make the LP requirements less, so that, you know, they're cheaper, and I think that would be a good idea. But me personally, I think the best thing would be to actually just buff them. So they stay at the 400 mil price, but they are buffed to have something unique. And something that many people have been actually saying is that maybe even Navy ships, they ought to have actually, they ought to have some kind of like bonus to security status, like, you know, the way Concord ships are affected. I'm just going to request a new mission. Some rogue drone harassment. Okay, let's do that. The Golem will take out some rogue drones that are harassing the local scope network, the news network of the Galente Corporation. So we're going to enable them to broadcast more propaganda for the Galente Federation. Okay, let's warp to the location. But I think it would be nice if they had the Navy ships had a buff like the Concord ships. If we go here, Forza, this is a Concord ship, and it has a bonus here to shield booster is 10x the pirate security status. So this is actually affects, if you have a security status that's better, then you will have bonuses to the ship. So I think that would be a good way, because like the way I feel is like the Navy ships, they're sort of like policing kind of ships. So when I hear the word Navy, that's what I think. So I think it would be kind of cool if they would have it so that if you had more security status, the way the Concord ships have, you would have some certain bonuses. So it would, you know, promote a lot of those people who abide by the law. And then it would also make sense that, you know, pirate ships, they would then be used by people who don't abide by the law. So they've got their own thing, you know. So the pirate ships, they're, well, the people who do a lot of, you know, they don't do a lot of piracy, and the Navy ships are for people who don't do a lot of piracy, and then the pirate ships will not have any not be affected by the you know, the security status. They'll just have their innate buffs, so they will then have, you know, they'll be good for the pirate players of eveonline. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I hope they at least make some change, because you know how they changed the Marauders? It was very welcomed, in my opinion. So I think that they should also do a rework to Navy battleships, actually. Or just Navy ships in general, to be honest. But mostly Navy battleships, I feel like. Because the one battleship that I think is very depressing is the Apocalypse Navy. If we go on this ship here, Apocalypse Navy issue, this ship costs double the amount as Apocalypse, has the exact same bonuses. Look at it, 7.5% and 7.5%, exactly the same. The only difference is that it has more base HP. If we go a bit close to this mother drone here has the lowest resistance explosive, which is actually quite unusual for rogue drones and missiles. Usually they have actually the lowest resistance EM actually, but the mother drone over here decided to have a different resistance type to be a little bit unique than its rogue drone companions. Okay, but the main difference is that the Apocalypse Slavey issue is exactly the same in terms of its bonuses, so that's quite depressing. The only thing is it has an extra low slot, so you can technically speaking add more DPS in that regard. But and it's also got a bit better fitting, and also it's got more base HP, so it's actually very good for buffer fleets. But still, it's not got at all impressive bonuses, and I wish that it did have better bonuses compared to the normal Apocalypse. So we've got all this crap over here. We're gonna Bastion up, and we're gonna get to work. So we're gonna have go for the EM Rage Torpedoes. Let's see now. Yes, EM. You see that? Normal rogue drones have their lowest resistance in the EM department. I'm gonna put the precision script, and we'll get to work. So the Golem is gonna exceed a situation like this, where it's just surrounded by NPCs. I am looking forward to just love blasting these guys to bits with the Golem. Just a really aggressive battleship that just sits here. Oh wait, we've not activated the precision script. That just sits here and destroys. It just destroys. It just really doesn't care. It just goes in there and destroys. Okay, let's spread out the missiles. There we go. Spreading out the missiles will just help us maybe negate a bit of travel time, or maybe if we one-shot stuff, reduce that the impact of that happening. Because if you one-shot something, then there'll be a bit of damage to waste, and it could be more efficient to actually split up the weapon groups like this. And also, it's generally speaking, it just feels better in my opinion. Just have the two just at the same time, split the weapon systems, and then you kind of don't have to think a little bit for a little while until you have to switch your weapons on the new target. While if you had them all grouped as one, I would have to think constantly, just think, oh, switch. Boosting a little bit really does not care at all. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we go there, and we go there, and we just split the damage a little bit there, and pop these guys like this. Easy peasy. Let's go with our drones to help a little bit with this, and we can unbastion in this cycle as well. No real need to keep bastioning up here. Okay, let's do dual target painters on this so that we can have the amplifier even more. There we go. And then we go here, and we go here, put the dual target painters here, and we'll put the drones on this guy over here, and we should actually lock up stuff. Lock up drones. I don't want to just stop locking up stuff like this. It's often I actually do this in the Abyss, where I don't lock up everything, and I just think, oh wait, I'm finished, and then wait, oh, there was another Vedmak left. It's a very common occurrence, actually. There we go. Take out this Hunter Alvi over here, one shot basically. Okay. Now we can start aligning as well. So it's always big to small. So we'll just go here and start aligning out. There we go. And just take this guy and we'll return the drones. There we go. And we just minimize this and we go to the next room. Boop. Golem coming in. It looks a bit like a spear here. So just going here to stab the next group of NPCs. I just love the Golem. It's such an amazing L4 ship. So much tank, so much DPS. So good range and application. Overall, just an amazing ship. So I'll just go out a little bit and we'll start attacking. I think these ships drop rogue drone, the rogue drone AI parts. Actually, I think the first one did, not these ones. Oh, I think we must have missed that then, because that'll be like 1 or 2 million ISK where we missed out. Okay, let's start shooting there. Turn off the MWD, please. There we go. Let's see now. He's got the lowest EM resistance. I think that first, that first battleship we went up against, that guy, he actually he dropped these rogue drone AI chips. The rogue drone AI chips, they are just so good. They can get a lot of ISK from that. But unfortunately, these rogue drones, for some reason, they don't drop it. It's just this particular mission where there's one of them. But there are some missions actually where you could get like multiple NPCs, like a lot of NPCs that drop the rogue drone AI chips. Let's see now, what are they called? Rogue drone Nexus chip, no. Elite Drone AI, that's what it's called. This thing here, Elite Drone AI. That's what you use this to get good at Call of Duty games. You get Elite. Elite Drone AI. Oh no, actually that's the I think that's the AI they use when they program bots for games like Call of Duty. that would make a lot more sense. Okay, there we go. Mission done. Knocked out some rogue drones, smashed them with the Golem with torpedoes, just went straight through. Golem did not care at all. It's I think the Golem looks pretty satisfied right here. My Golem looks like he's pretty content with completing this mission. We can just walk back here after the Bastion time has ended, and you know, now that the Bastion timers are shorter, it's not all like I'm not gonna fall asleep before the Bastion timer ends. It's something that, you know, is like not as slow. It's slower than a module activation cycle, but still not something that's unbearably slow. Oh, imagine if it was 90 seconds. Oh my god. Initially, I was actually okay with the 90-second change with Bastion timer to kind of give it a bit of, like a bit of a trade-off for the increased DPS. But honestly, I would have gone crazy doing missions and having to wait 90 seconds for me to be able to move again. And also, I'd be also quite nervous because they would be, very easy to get ganked as well. Okay, there we go. Back at the Scope Network Center, here to hand in my mission to the loyal news company which I do missions for. It's a good dog. Back right up. This Caldari ship doing missions for Galente. It's something you don't see every day. Usually the Galente and the Caldari people hate each other. And maybe that's why it's not wanting me to go in here, because it's taking me forever. I'm having to press multiple times to be able to dock, and it doesn't want me to dock. Yes, there we go. Thank you for letting me dock. Okay, there we go. Rogue drone harassment. Great. We've taken out the rogue drones and enabled the convoys of the Scope to keep mining in peace. I think it was mining convoys at least. Okay, there we go. Look, 4,000 loyalty points. That's about 5 million, something like that, depending on my LP to its conversion ratio. Complete. Okay, there we go. A few L4 missions. I think that's enough for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video right here. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.